Ready to throw it at me? 2, 1.
I committed my crime of taking out the important political slogan from the staff-only area of the Yangakdo International Hotel.
In January 2016, Otto Fedreck Wambier, a 21-year-old American college student, embarked on what was meant to be a brief and exciting tour of North Korea. But what started as an adventurous trip turned into a harrowing nightmare that would shock the world. Arrested on allegations of attempting to steal a propaganda poster from his hotel, Otto was sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. For months, the world knew little about his fate, while his family in Ohio held on to hope. When Otto was finally returned to the United States in June 2017, it was far from a joyous reunion. He arrived in a coma, unresponsive and broken. Less than a week later, he passed away, leaving behind a story of immense tragedy. His death sparked global outrage and intensified the already fragile relations between the United States and North Korea, a regime notorious for its secrecy and harsh treatment of foreign nationals. Otto's story is a haunting reminder of the dangers posed by authoritarian regimes and the personal cost of international conflict. Otto Warmbier was born on December 12, 1994, in Cincinnati, Ohio, to Fred and Cindy Warmbier. He grew up in a close-knit, loving family and was the eldest of 3 siblings. Known for his intelligence and outgoing personality, Otto was a bright young man with a promising future ahead of him. He attended Wyoming High School, where he excelled both academically and socially, earning top grades and making lasting friendships. His classmates admired him for his kindness, humor, and leadership abilities. After graduating high school, Otto enrolled at the University of Virginia, where he was majoring in economics. He was an active student, involved in various clubs and activities, and had a strong passion for travel and experiencing different cultures. Otto's academic achievements earned him a prestigious scholarship to study abroad, and he was preparing to embark on a successful career in international business. With a natural curiosity about the world and a sense of adventure, Otto's decision to visit North Korea on a guided tour during his winter break seemed like an opportunity to broaden his horizons. To those who knew him, Otto was a bright, relatable young man, full of dreams and potential, a symbol of hope and ambition before his tragic encounter with the oppressive regime of North Korea. North Korea trip, the beginning of the tragedy. In December 2015, Otto Warmbier set out on a trip that was supposed to be the adventure of a lifetime. Eager to experience something unique, Otto joined a 5-day guided tour to North Korea, organized by a travel agency called Young Pioneer Tours. The agency catered to adventurous travelers seeking a glimpse into one of the world's most secretive and isolated countries. It was a rare opportunity for someone as curious and well-traveled as Otto. With winter break approaching, Otto decided to take a detour before returning to his studies at the University of Virginia. The tour group consisted mainly of young travelers from various countries, all intrigued by the mystique of North Korea. Despite the tight government control over their every move, the group explored Pyongyang's landmarks, visited cultural sites, and marveled at the rigidly controlled city. For Otto, this trip seemed like just another chance to expand his worldview. However, the trip took a dark turn on the night of January 1st, 2016, at the Yangakdo International Hotel, where the group was staying. According to North Korean authorities, Otto was caught on surveillance cameras allegedly attempting to steal a propaganda poster from a restricted area within the hotel, an act the regime classified as a hostile act against the state. This moment would become the pivotal point in Otto's life. What was intended as a harmless souvenir, if Otto had indeed taken it, quickly escalated into a serious international incident. Shortly before his flight back home, Otto was detained at the Pyongyang airport, arrested by North Korean authorities, and accused of crimes against the regime. His alleged theft would set in motion a series of devastating events that would forever change the course of his life, turning what began as an exciting adventure into a nightmare from which he would never escape. Arrest and imprisonment. On January 2nd, 2016, Otto Warmbier's life changed forever. As his tour group prepared to leave North Korea, Otto was detained at the Pyongyang airport by authorities. The charges against him were severe. Otto was accused of stealing a propaganda poster from a restricted staff-only area of the Yangakdo International Hotel. North Korean officials claimed this act was part of a larger conspiracy orchestrated by the U.S. government to undermine the regime. a common narrative used by the North Korean leadership to justify their actions. Otto was now caught in the web of one of the world's most repressive regimes. After being held for several weeks, Otto was put on trial in March 2016. The trial, which lasted just 1 hour, was a tightly controlled spectacle. A video allegedly showing Otto removing the poster was presented as evidence. Under immense pressure, Otto delivered a tearful confession, which many believe was coerced. In a prepared statement, he pleaded for mercy, claiming that a member of his church had offered him a car in exchange for the poster, a narrative that seemed improbable. Despite his emotional appeal, Otto was sentenced to 15 years of hard labor for what North Korean authorities labeled a hostile act against the state. The international reaction was immediate and intense. Human rights organizations, the U.S. government, and Otto's family denounced the charges and the harsh sentence. Many viewed the arrest as a political move by North Korea to use Otto as leverage in its ongoing tense relations with the United States. Despite growing diplomatic efforts, North Korea refused to budge, leaving Otto to face a grim reality behind bars. Little was known about the conditions Otto faced during his 17 months of imprisonment. However, it became clear that he was subjected to extreme mistreatment. Otto's family later revealed that North Korean officials kept them in the dark, providing no updates on his condition. In June 2017, Otto was suddenly released, but in a coma, a condition that stunned the world. His family would later learn that Otto had suffered severe brain damage, with doctors speculating that he had been in a vegetative state for most of his captivity. The exact nature of his treatment during those months remains shrouded in mystery, but the toll on his body and mind was tragically evident. Otto's return to the U.S. In June 2017, after 17 harrowing months in North Korean custody, Otto Warmbier was finally released. His sudden release came after months of intense negotiations between the U.S. government and North Korean officials. President Donald Trump's administration had ramped up diplomatic efforts, demanding Otto's immediate return amid rising tensions between the two nations. North Korea agreed to release Otto on what they described as humanitarian grounds. But the reality was far more tragic than anyone anticipated. When Otto arrived home on June 13, 2017, it was clear something was terribly wrong. He was carried off the plane unconscious, unable to respond or recognize his surroundings. Otto had been in a coma for an unknown period, with North Korean officials claiming he had contracted botulism shortly after his sentencing and had been given a sleeping pill that left him in this unresponsive state. Medical experts in the U.S. quickly dismissed these claims. Upon examination, it was revealed that Otto had suffered severe brain damage, likely due to prolonged oxygen deprivation. His condition was irreversible. For Otto's parents, Fred and Cindy Warmbier, the moment they saw their son was both heartbreaking and enraging. The young man they remembered, full of life and ambition, was now in a vegetative state, his body wasted, and his spirit seemingly extinguished. Speaking to the press, Otto's father described the moment as a horrific, unimaginable ordeal. The Warmbiers had held out hope that their son would return to them alive, only to be met with this devastating reality. The emotional toll on Otto's family was profound, and their grief quickly turned to anger. His release, while welcomed, only underscored the rising hostility between the U.S. and North Korea. As Otto's health deteriorated, so too did relations between the two countries. Just 6 days after his return, on June 19, 2017, Otto passed away, igniting even greater outrage in the U.S. and further straining the fragile diplomatic situation with North Korea.